And joining me now on This Is Today is Father Ray Dlugos, who is a Augustinian friar and former classmate of Pope Leo XIV. He's currently the Vice President of Mission and Ministry at Merrimack College. It's one of only 2 Augustinian colleges in the United States. Father Ray, thanks so much for being with us.
Certainly, happy to be here.
Maybe we could start with that moment. Take us back to May 8th, and if there was any thought in your mind that Cardinal Prevost was going to be named Pope.
I thought it was a possibility. Okay. I think, like a lot of people, the fact that he was an American was the one thing that was maybe going against him. What I remember when he was made Cardinal 2 years ago, the thought crossed my mind then that Francis may have been positioning him to maybe be the successor. But nonetheless, it was a very powerful, moving moment. I was not sure what to expect. I was nervous that it might be somebody else, somebody that I might not want. But just absolutely overwhelmingly thrilled when his name was announced, and I saw him on the balcony, looking very much like himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, where were you watching it, or?
I had gone over to the friary, which is right across the street from the campus, when I got a text that the white smoke had been seen. So now I'm trapped. So I stayed there until he finished on the balcony. So that was about an hour later he finished from the time he came out. So, that made me late for a meeting. It was being held, a very large meeting with about 100 people in it. It was starting at 1:30, and I was still in the friary at 1:30. So then I made my way over to the meeting and walked into the room, and the whole place just burst into applause.
That's great, yeah.
And I said, "I'm sorry, I'm late. I got distracted." and then told the group a little bit about the connection that Merrimack might have with the new Pope and my connection with him, and which isn't that big, but he was pretty well. Merrimack gave him an honorary degree in 2005, so we have that. When he finished being prior general, he went back to Chicago, and he was the formation director in the House of Theology. And one of the other friars at Merrimack now was one of the students there then, so he knows him very well.
Oh, wow.
And the third friar at Merrimack, Father Dan Madden, Bishop Prevost ordained him a deacon.
Wow.
6 or 7 years ago.
Talk about that. What was the feeling like for the Merrimack community to know this connection, know these connections?
It was a lot of excitement. Yeah. There were not many students around because it was the end of finals week, so a lot of students were gone. But among the people that were on campus, there was a lot of excitement, a lot of pride to just know that there was a connection with him. Yeah, which was really great.
And talk about, I know you were in separate years, but maybe tell people you were both at Villanova at the same time, and the connection there.
Yeah, he was a year ahead of me, and from a different province. So we didn't live in the same house, but we would go to philosophy classes together. We were all pre-novitiate students for the Augustinians, and so we had to take college philosophy. So I think I had 3 classes with him. The one I remember the most is German existentialism. But
you never forget that.
No, you don't forget that. We also, I think, were the class on the Confessions of St. Augustine and maybe one other one. But what I remember is, first of all, he's very smart, very intelligent, and a substantial person. He was quiet, reserved, humble, kind as all get out, and gentle. But you knew that there was a person of substance there. His peers respected him a great deal. His professors respected him a great deal, and his formation directors respected him a great deal. He started the seminary as after 8th grade. He went to a minor seminary the Augustinians had in Michigan, that no longer exists. So he'd been at this for a while already.
Yeah, it's amazing to have like a connection like that to the Pope, and you currently serve at Merrimack College too. And maybe if you could talk, you mentioned it a little bit about the process of awarding the Pope the honorary degree, and what was that like? What was some of the?
I wasn't at Merrimack then.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
He was the prior general of the Augustinians at that point.
Okay.
So Merrimack chose to give him an honorary doctorate of Augustinian education, and he came on the Saturday before commencement, he presided and preached at the baccalaureate mass, and then he received the degree on Sunday morning at the commencement ceremony. And it was given to him just to honor him for all that he had done for the Augustinians and therefore for Merrimack College.
And talk about the Augustinian order itself and how that has shaped Pope Leo XIV and what you see in him as that.
So, I mean, when the most moving moment of all this for me was, and he was talking and he was introducing himself, and he says, I am a son of St. Augustine, an Augustinian. And I like, wow, that's, we're not a really large order. There's about 2,500 of us in the world, but we are all over the world.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing that Augustinians are about is relationships and community and sharing with one another and make sure that everyone gets what they need, not what they've earned. And everything else goes into the common. So it's a really a spirituality of taking care of one another and learning how to get along with one another, respecting the differences, noticing the differences, helping each other to make the best choices we can make. And the rule of St. Augustine has a big emphasis on forgiveness, because Augustine knew really well if you put people together in one place, they're going to hurt each other. So forgiveness becomes the rule. You're not going to stop it, they're going to hurt. So forgiveness is very important. Listening to one another, hearing and sharing the journey. So it's a spirituality that is very much about doing this together, not alone, and walking with one another on our search for God, and our search for truth, search for wisdom.
Yeah. You think this will inspire some young men out there to become an Augustinian?
It may. I understand that we got a lot of inquiries to our vocation office over the weekend after his election.
That's great.
We'll see how that plays out.
We're just about out of time, but I have to let you give a shout out to Merrimack College. Tell people about Merrimack College.
Oh, wow. Merrimack College is in North Andover, Massachusetts. It's has about a little under 4,000 undergraduates and about 2,500 graduate students, 5 different schools. It's a great place that really does exude that sense of Augustinian community. People take care of each other at Merrimack College very, very well. It's a really nice community to be part of.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Father Ray, for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank